Well, last time that we chatted, I gave you a little bit of family history, and I'd like to just enlarge on that a little bit because Mum and Dad met each other in the goldfields. Mum was a cook in a goldfields pub, and Dad worked up around the goldfields there, I think something to do with the Sons of Goya mine. Anyhow, that's where they met, and it's inspired me to write a little bit about our early goldfield days. This first one is about a miner, a prospector, who went searching for gold in Western Australia and became so well known for his acts of kindness. I've called this poem Russian Jack. In the days of early gold rush, there was naught could stop a man once he had his water bottle, pick and shovel, sift and pan. For the lure of gold was in him, filled each thought within his brain, and gold dust ran instead of blood in each and every vein. But there was a great prospector who did trudge the golden track, and he pushed a large wheelbarrow, known to all as Russian Jack. His barrow was enormous, and I tell no fairy tale. Its handles 7 feet in length, the rest was built to scale. Jack himself was like a mountain, straight as any tree he stood, and he carried his belongings on this barrow made of wood. From the northwest of Australia to the goldfields down in Kew, he sought the golden metal, and he struck it rich there too. But his wealth lay not in riches, for he was a kindly man, offering help to fellow miners, giving all a helping hand. Once he came on 2 old diggers, so exhausted on the track, they had no strength to carry heavy swag upon their back. So he took their gear and placed it on the barrow with his lot, and he pushed it 37 miles to their next camping spot. He was known to rescue others who would surely pass away, take them to the nearest water, not accepting any pay. In the northwest of Australia there's a monument to Jack, reminding us of all he did out on the beaten track. Acts of mateship so outstanding are to us worth more than gold, so somehow Jack will still live on whene'er his story's told. This next one is a little poem I thought of regarding gold fear itself. Has a little moral to it. I sat in the bar of a goldfields pub, enjoying a pie and a drink. An old-timer came and sat by my side, tapped my shoulder and gave me a wink. His face was withered from years in the sun. His manner was friendly but bold. Buy me a beer and spare me some time. I'll tell you a tale not yet told. I looked at the barman and gave him a nod. A beer on the counter was placed. He wiped his brow with his old calloused hand and drank the beer down in some haste. 'Twas in the summer of '49 a young man like you came to town, to search for wealth, prospecting for gold, buy a ring and his girl's wedding gown. The love in his heart for his sweetheart was strong. He thought that he never could leave her, but after a nugget or two came his way, his love was replaced with gold fever. Their wedding was set for spring of next year, but when that spring came around, she was waiting at home for her beau, while he was deep down in the ground. Letters she wrote, but unopened they went, for gold filled his thoughts every day, till one day he looked in the mirror and saw his youth had all faded away. He pulled out her letters he kept in a tin. The latest he opened and read. I've waited too long for a reply from you, dear, so I've married another instead. I heard a quiver come into his voice as the last words he happened to speak, and as I looked in his weary blue eyes, a tear rolled away down his cheek. I turned to buy him another cold beer. I was moved by the story he told. But when I turned back, the old-timer was gone. On the counter, 2 nuggets of gold. I picked up the nuggets and grabbed up my swag. I could catch the next train before tea. For some of the things the old-timer had said, I knew they applied now to me. For I too had left my sweetheart at home to find wealth by a ring and a gown. So with his tale ringing loud in my ear, I was heading back home to my town. Well, that's it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed it, and thanks for tuning in.